Friday morning is one of our just crazy busiest mornings because it is get ready for market day. And no matter what, no matter how much time you think you have, no matter how early you get up and you start giving her. First we start by watering.
No, we feed the, we eat, we drink
Well, we have
tea.
to have a cup of coffee. I have to have coffee. Bruce has tea.
Yeah. And then the animals are crying for their treats.
The girls
you gotta run out there and give them what they need.
The girls need their hay and their grain and their special kibbles.
And then we probably start watering until our own stomach starts saying it's time for brekkie.
Often in the summer, it is a real race to do things before it gets too hot to be out there. So we are, really trying to get everything done of running around nature very early. So that's when watering happens for sure, before the sun gets too high and just sends you into the shade.
All right. If there's any time after watering, we can be weeding or thinning or harvesting or.
And I'm sorry, see?
Oh, I was just going to say spreading manure, which is an ongoing thing.
So we pump out of the pond, we fill these 20-gallon buckets we have stationed all over the garden, and then dip out of them and pretty well hand water every plant, which is quite the production. But then you have an intimate relationship with every plant.
We got to wait till almost the last moment, whenever we can find that time to harvest the produce that we're going to be selling on Saturday morning. So it's Friday late probably to harvest before dark and after it's cooled down a little bit so that its quality stays high. Don't want to show up to market with things that have been spoiled by the sun or.
No wilted greens, please.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually, because the market starts in May, it usually is concurrent with asparagus, and we get asparagus on our table, and people are excited about that. Organic asparagus, local, yum, and bags of kale, and occasionally a salad mix if there's enough variety of greens out there to mix it up and put it in a bag. People love that. Just take it home and throw it in a bowl and dress it if you wish. And then, there's usually, if we're lucky, different stages of kale and arugula and cilantro in the garden throughout the year. Parsley too. It's just reseeds, regenerates, goes to seed, but there's some babies around coming back up, and it all slows down around now, but keeps going to a small degree.
Yeah, there's quite a few other things like sorrel and onions. There's about 4 different kinds of onions that are, sometimes they're just hitting their peak and sometimes they're just starting, so there's sort of an ongoing. Some weeks we'll have lots of one thing and not so much the other. Radishes don't like it after it gets hot. There's a whole bunch of things that don't like it when it gets hot, so our early products are a lot greener and our later products are mostly actually perennial fruits and nuts and that kind of thing.
That's right. We do a lot of canning. Once, probably starting in July with the cherries.
Sometimes strawberries, sometimes raspberries, sometimes blueberries, currants, gooseberry.
This year was so lousy for tomatoes, but we have done a lot of tomatoes in the past, probably up to 150 quart jars in a season, and that would last us 2 years. The tomatoes are a beautiful base for the salsa I make, which I sometimes sell or make or serve with the huevos rancheros. And
she makes pesto out of almost anything.
Yeah. The cilantro pesto is a great thing. And I'm always thinking about making the fillings for the samosas and gyozas and what I have to have ready in what steps in what order. And I love, of course, using the food processor off the solar panel. So I love to wait till it's it's about midday and have lots and lots of juice before market to do everything you want to do and get out the door and get set up in time. So.
I try to have the van loaded with whatever I can, all the produce that I've picked and all the tables and canopy and all that stuff wants to be in the van before we call it a night. Not always do I make it there, but mostly. Friday we go to bed as early as we possibly can, even though it's usually not early, but because there's anticipation.
Because you can never get up early enough Saturday morning. You never have enough time.
So we get to the market on Saturday and
get to the market.
Sell all kinds of stuff. We hope
3 hours. It's such a buzz. It is really one of the nicest social gatherings of the week on Denman.
Well, for us anyway.
Yeah, for us, that's right. We shouldn't speak for
we don't go out in the world that much, so that every Saturday is a routine, and that's pretty cool. We're tired when it's over because it's just rush, you know. But then we get to come home and have a siesta, so that's good.
Yeah, that's the Saturday institution.